spraying Dettol all over the place, saying the place was effing stinking, and then moved seat behind me and said, go back to your own country. None of that's related to me, right? Okay.
No, it's nothing to do with your colour.
I thought I was losing my mind. And I was like, and I looked up and I was like, sweet old lady, wouldn't he? Would they? Aye.
It'll be fucking good.
Back to your own country. That's not right.
I know, so.
Thank you. I know. I knew she was being racist.
Sitting there being racist.
I am indeed.
Are you proud of that though? You're proud to be racist? Well, I'm embarrassed for you actually.
If you have nothing nice to say, you don't say anything at all.
You're proud to be you, you're being a racist. I was born here.
Aye, but,
I'm more Scottish than you probably. You're British.
Well, what
Alright.
you sounds it.
There'll be that Nigel Farage. He'll be shaking your horn actually.
Aye.
He'll be buzzing.
You have to lash it.
Another another racist. Yes.
No, I did hear it as well, but I didn't want
I
to
knew
say
it and I thought I was going crazy, like, you know that way.
But you
And
don't want to
she was sitting
call it-
here being racist and then writing on a little notepad racist things.
Women should understand morals
Yeah.
and respect.
Exactly. I'm disappointed, that's all I can
I would
say.
just put out.
But I do appreciate
No, it's alright.
I appreciate it. I do.
Don't tolerate it. But I hope you're okay. I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, you too. See you later.
I'm trying to stay calm. I've had a very long journey today.
I'm trying to stay calm after you said really mean things to me, telling me to go back to my own country when I'm born here. Because of the colour of my skin, I don't think that's
Nothing to do with that.
Well, why else would you say it? You wouldn't say that to a white person, go back to your own country.
yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't, because they've got a Scottish accent. I've got a Scottish accent.
I didn't say that.
You did say that. I've
But I didn't mean
what did you not mean?
British.
British. I have a British passport. I'm classed as a British citizen.
That's all right.
And I was born here.
That's
But because of the colour of my skin, you presume I'm
It's
not.
nothing to do with your
Well,
skin.
why you wouldn't say that to a white person with a Scottish accent? Go back to your own country. Why
What
do you
did I
think?
say to Donald
Why?
Trump
Why
then?
did you? Donald Trump is an American man, so I don't know where you're going with that. But I
He's
have to
not
call
as
out.
Scottish.
I'm not impressed with that, and I'm going to have to tell you that. And I'm sorry you've had a bad day, but you can't just go about saying that to people. It's not on. I'm going to defend myself for years and ever.
That's okay.
Yeah, of course it's okay. I'm proud of myself for speaking up, but I'm not have somebody tell me to go back to my own country in my own country. Be honest, admit then.
Whatever you like.
You say whatever you like. Well, it's what you're saying is racism, and I don't tolerate it. Not to me, not to anyone else as well. So, I'm not.
You've got no respect for your elders.
How do I have? I have no respect for people that are racist. I'll tell you that. Yeah, thank you. Aye. No, just tell me to go back to my own country.
We apologise for the late run
Did.
of this train.
Aye.
Further information will be provided when
Nothing to do
available.
with your colour of your skin.
Yes, it is.
No,
You're,
I'm sorry, it's
see,
not.
if you're going to be racist, be proud. And you were proud a minute ago, and now you don't have an audience. You're trying to backtrack. I'm not happy with.
I'm not saying that.
You are. You
I
did.
didn't say that.
I'm not going to
Respect
argue
for
with you
your
anymore.
elders.
How can I respect a woman that sat there and been racist the full journey?
But no respect.
Of
I
course.
wasn't
Do I
writing a
respect
list
you?
about you.
Hell nah. I'm not going to respect you. I'm
I
not
wasn't
respecting you.
writing a list about you.
You moved seat and then you were spraying Dettol all over the place, saying the place was effing stinking, and then moved seat behind me and said go back to your own country. None of that's related to me, right? Okay.
No, it's nothing to do with your colour.
What's it to do with
You're
then?
pink, green and blue.
Well, what's it to do with then? You never said it to this young, beautiful girl. You never said it to her. You never said it to the guy who was sitting over there. And you know what they've got in common? They've got white skin. So you only said it to the brown person. Bit weird.
It's great. Your nails look great. Everything about you looks great. But I've just had a hell of a fucking day. Okay?
Sorry to hear that, but at the same time it doesn't justify being racist. That's all I'm saying. And we can close it at that. We'll leave it at that. You get on with your life, I'll get on with mine. Racist old woman.
I just got one question for that white Scottish lady. Who asked you to jump the fuck in? This was a conversation between African Americans and our Scottish black cousins, okay? This was a family reunion conversation, baby. You are not allowed in there. What you should have been doing is sitting your ass back and watching the question be answered by your fellow Scottishmen to see what the fuck you need to do when you take your white ass outside in your country. It wasn't for you to jump into my, oh, we're all Scottish, we don't see color. Bitch, are you colorblind then? Do you mismatch every time you walk your little Scottish white ass outside the door? I don't think you do. Now, if the black Scottish people in Scotland say there is racism and they experience it, then that is their fucking experience. It's not for you to interject and say, no, I don't think that's an appropriate question. Bitch, black people around the world want to know if it's safe when we travel. We all ask that question. Is it safe for us to come there? Just like if Scottish people said, hey, you know what? Is it safe for us to visit? Yeah, my boy. Okay, either you're going to go to Brooklyn or you're going to come to Atlanta. New Orleans is a good place for you. You can go to LA. Houston? Yeah. Don't take your ass to Mississippi, though. Stay away from the Midwestern area. You know, we'll give you directions. This was an A and B conversation. See your white ass out. Oh, and hey to my black Scottish cousins. Okay, look, we need day in the life. I want to know what y'all eating. I want to know what music y'all listen to. Where do y'all go to party? Okay, I want to know y'all lingo. I want to learn.
Hey family, before we dive in, hope you guys are all doing well, rested. If not, pause and do one small thing for yourself today. You deserve that much. Now let's get into it. This commentary is inspired by stitch videos and conversations by people on TikTok, specifically those responding to a now viral incident involving a white Scottish woman interjecting during a discussion between Black Americans and Black Scottish folks. We're analyzing the conversations shared by creators across TikTok who have lent their voice, context, and experience. So guys, let's dive into the rest of the video. We'll be back for more commentary.
Ooh, hold on, because I know y'all saw that white Scottish woman come up on this app, right? And she had a lot to say, and it was a lot. I took notes, girl. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to be respectful and address her by her name. I think her page is called LMAC, so I'm going to just address her as L. So we're going to go down this little list here that I have, okay? So number one, you said that you are just now realizing that Black Americans are discovering that there are Black Scottish people, and that you found the comments in some of these videos problematic. And you said you thought the comments were problematic because you saw Black Americans asking the Black folk of Scotland if white people like Black folk over there. Essentially, is it racist there? And you said, don't do that, don't do that. Pause. Because you are not understanding the context behind why that conversation is being had, why those questions are being asked. You see, we as Black Americans understand that anti-Blackness is global. And Black Americans love to travel. We love to experience the world and see other cultures. And we love to recognize our cousins in every corner of the earth. But we also have to be mindful that we cannot travel everywhere safely. Not every place is safe for Black folk to visit, which is why we ask this question to gauge whether it is safe. A lot of us would like to leave America, and so if we happen to pick a place like Scotland or like Wales or like Japan, whatever the case may be, we are going to ask the Black people who live there and experience life daily as a Black person within that society whether it is safe for Black people to come into and live. That is not an answer for white people to answer. That is not an answer for anyone non-Black living in these places to answer. But you decided to take it upon yourself to answer the question and say, I've never seen it in my 34, 37, whatever age you said, years of life. Of course you haven't, because you're a white woman. Why would you see or experience anti-Black racism as a white woman? Just because you haven't experienced it does not mean it's not real or happening. It just doesn't happen to you because you are not affected. So the people in the comments saying, girl, how would you know? You're white. They're not wrong. And yes, it is an American way of thinking because we have been racialized, demonized, dehumanized, and terrorized for generations. That is the society we live in. We live in a society where everywhere we look is anti-Black, to where we had to have a handbook called the Green Book to tell us where it was safe to travel in the United States. Did you know that? So yes, we are going to take that mentality because we are on the defense. We are in a constant state of hyper-awareness and self-preservation because of our lived experiences, because we have to be. And we're going to carry that with us when we travel into new places. And we are going to ask our cousins, the black folk over there, what it's like and if it is safe for us to enter into. Because who would know better than them? Why would we ask a white woman? Then you also said the only people I ever hear living in Scotland bringing up race are the racists. Oh, so there are racists in Scotland then. But you said you haven't experienced it. Right, because you haven't experienced it. You have heard it in passing and most likely have said nothing because it doesn't affect you. Because you like to say, well, I don't see it that way. I don't separate. They're just Scottish. They've always been here. They're just Scottish. But what you're doing when you do that is you are completely erasing the experience they have as being a melanated person living in a white dominated society. You are minimizing their experience and possible trauma that they are going through by being black in these places. Just because you don't experience it or it doesn't affect you does not mean it's not happening. And it's weird that you're here trying to silence the voices of the people who are telling you it does, because we see you in your comments only liking the comments of white people who agree with you or the comments of people who are making you feel comfortable in your already way of thinking. That makes it feel like you're not really in this to learn anything. You weren't in this conversation to actually have a mind-breaking experience. You just wanted someone to affirm how you already thought and feel. You wanted to be coddled. You didn't actually want to listen to the experiences of black Scottish people or black Americans for that matter. And you said differentiating between black Scots and just Scottish or any other British identity allows for the racists to come in and say, well, they're not white, so they don't belong. They need to go back to where they came from. Bookie, that's already happening. You just don't hear it or see it. I came across a video today of a black Scottish girl who was on the transit, and a white Scottish woman told her to go back to her country. So again, we ask the question, do they like black folk over there? Is it racist over there? That is not a question that a white woman anywhere can answer. This is a conversation between the black diaspora, the black community. No matter where we're from, we are always going to seek information from each other through our lived experiences. We are always going to believe and listen to what those experiences have learned. And when they tell us the information, we are going to sift through it and apply it to how we experience life here and how we would experience life if we go there. Because again, we are always in a state of hyper awareness and self-preservation because we have had to be. Because anti-blackness is global. I understand that you said, well, I don't want it separated. I want us all to just be Scots. And that would be great. But that's not how the world works. That's not how it works with racialization and colonization and global anti-blackness. That's just not reality. Yes, those people are Scottish. Absolutely, because that's their nationality. They were born there. But their experience is still black because that is their race. You don't experience life like a black Scottish person experiences life. Just like white Americans don't experience life like black Americans experience life. And it's clear that you did not have the context about American society or about the experience of black people as a whole or black culture to come into this conversation, because the question wasn't directed at you, and yet you still found a way to center yourself and your opinion within it. That is you leading with your whiteness instead of leading with empathy and understanding, because that's something that whiteness finds very hard to do. So sit back, let us speak to our cousins, let us have a black ass conversation, and you just go on about your day and be happy. Keep on smiling, keep on loving people. But let's not erase and minimize the experience of people who do not look like you, because it 100% matters.
So I'm watching all of this discourse that's happening online. And honestly, truly, I'm not here to bust anybody's bubble. But I think you guys need to know this, because it's a little bit embarrassing. It is. The black Scottish are also black British. England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland all fall under the umbrella, the United Kingdom. So to see you guys on this app ask these people, are they African? Are you guys immigrants? You telling them don't allow those Africans to take credit for what you guys built in Scotland. Number one, are you not embarrassed? The same thing that happened in England also happened in Scotland, the Windrush generation. You also have the African migration. You have the more modern immigration to the United Kingdom. So when you're online talking about, let us know if you African so we can unfollow you now, you should be embarrassed. Because y'all the ones that be sitting online telling these people, y'all don't know nothing about us. Y'all know nothing about our culture. But something so simple as what is the United Kingdom, you don't understand. I guess we all need an education, right? So yes, they are Africans. And they are also Caribbean. Let's get this straight. It is very difficult to find 17, 18, and very early 19th century Black Brits. But we understand when they would have really became Black Brits. But I'll let you figure that out. I can't give you all the answers.
Guys, honestly, I love you Americans so much. Like, I'm so happy that you're intrigued to know what it's like to live in Scotland and stuff, and you've found my TikTok and you've found other people's TikToks. So I've seen all your questions and you guys have so much, like, you are so intrigued to find out so much, so I'll try to answer as much as I can. Like, probably not in this video, probably in another video or something. But like, let me just like kind of start off by explaining how I'm actually even here. So like, I was born in 2003, so I'm 22 now. A lot of families were moving like to different, like dispersing their countries like in those years, but I can't remember, like I literally can't mind what was happening during that time. Like, I literally can't remember why like so many like families were moving and stuff like that. But like, I ended up here. But like, the thing is, my family were moving about quite a lot around the UK, so like Scotland wasn't like the first initial.
Welcome back, guys. So here's the situation. A conversation was unfolding online between Black Americans and Black Scottish citizens, essentially a cross-continental family reunion of sorts, when a white Scottish woman inserted herself to downplay and redirect the conversation. This sparked a much larger conversation that now touches on race, safety, global Black identity, and the uncomfortable reality of whose voices are prioritized when conversations about racism happen, even in places like Scotland. From the clips and stitches, one thing becomes immediately clear. The Black diaspora is asking each other the same survival question we've always had to ask. Is it safe for Blacks there? This isn't just curiosity. This isn't some overreaction or hypersensitivity. This is history. This is survival, and is deeply rooted in global anti-Blackness. One video laid this out powerfully. The creator explained that for many Black Americans, asking Black Scottish people about racism isn't offensive. It is necessary. It's the same instinct that birthed things like the Green Book in the US. It's how we have always moved through word of mouth, coded language, and community warnings. Is a form of communal self-preservation. But when the white Scottish woman responded, the tone shifted. Her objection wasn't about clarity, it was about discomfort. She argued that these questions were problematic or inappropriate, and that we are all just Scottish. The implication? That race shouldn't matter. That line of thinking is what one video referred to as colorblind delusion. It's a kind of well-meaning sentiment that actually erases lived experience. To say, we don't see color, when someone is telling you how their race shapes their entire existence in your country, is it neutrality? It's dismissal. And the responses from Black creators were sharp but measured. One creator put it plainly: if Black Scottish people say racism exists, then it exists. It's not up for white validation. A white person saying they have never experienced racism isn't a relevant data point. It's a self-evident reality because they wouldn't. Another creator noted how the white Scottish woman consistently liked only comments from people who agreed with her. That's a common pattern when white fragility is activated. People start looking for comfort, not truth, agreement, not understanding. And that's when the conversation evolved from one about Scotland, about Scotland to one about white interruption in global black dialogue, because this happens everywhere. When black people across different cultures and geographies come together to compare notes, share realities, or even ask for advice, there is always a risk of outside voices attempting to correct or delegitimize that exchange. And that gets to the heart of this commentary. This isn't about whether the white Scottish woman is a bad person. That's not the conversation. The real question is, why is whiteness still centered even in conversations that were never about it? What's striking is how black people, regardless of nationality, are now openly claiming the right to connect with one another without explanation. Black Americans asking their black Scottish cousins if racism is a problem. Is it invasive? It's kinship. It's checking in. It's trying to avoid walking into harm. As one creator brilliantly pointed out, we don't just ask because we are nosy. We ask because we have been traumatized. We know that racism doesn't stop at the US border. So yes, we are going to ask, will I be safe if I visit your country? And if the person answering has lived their whole life there, if they are Scottish and are black and say, yes, racism is here, that should be the end of the debate. What made the original white woman response so jarring to many was that she didn't engage in the spirit of curiosity. She wasn't there to learn. She was there to be affirmed. And when that didn't happen, she doubled down. But here's the part that many miss. The deeper this goes, the more it reveals that anti-blackness isn't just interpersonal, it's structural, it's historical, and yes, it's global. And when black folks reach across borders to support each other, that is not division, that's solidarity. Let's be real, the diaspora is vast, and so are experiences, but conversations like this help us from a fuller picture of how blackness is treated everywhere, from Mississippi to Glasgow. These conversations don't need approval from whiteness to be valid. They don't need permission. They just need to happen. So here's the takeaway next time you hear black folks asking each other about racism in different countries. Understand it's not paranoia, it's strategy, it's self-protection. It's the inherited wisdom of people who have always had to watch their backs. And honestly, that instinct, that's not going away anytime soon. Let's keep listening to each other across borders without interruption. We need each other and we deserve the right to speak, connect and strategize without being policed. Until next time, keep asking questions, stay grounded and protect your joy. This has been Echo Room Vibes. Peace out.